Hi, so we are doing the Pink Panther theme today, which is a very easy song, and it's a good song to begin with, learning songs with notes. So it's going to be based on we're going to start on your third fret, and I'll play it for you once so you know what it sounds like, and then we'll go further from there and I'll explain to you how to do it. So basically it sounds like this. I'll play it one more time just to make it, just so that it sinks in here. So. Alright, so now what I'll do is I'll zoom in closer so that you can see what I'm playing. Alright, so I'm just going to step forward a bit and let's see if I can get that in. So, maybe this might help here. So, we are on the C note right here on the A string. Yeah? So we're starting off, it's just like the chromatic exercise that you have done before. You play each semitone, so you're playing the C on the A string, C sharp, D, and D sharp. So it's a very simple exercise to start off with. So let's see, I hope you can see that clear enough. Right, okay, so once again, starting off with this C, C sharp, D, and D sharp. So that's how you start off. The intro bit is. So I kind of just tap over here just to get the timing. So you just do that twice. C, C sharp, D, D sharp. Then you're playing the A sharp on the E string. Tap. And then you're playing the D sharp on the A string. Tap. Okay, so that's it. So you have 3 taps in each cycle. Okay, so you try it now. Alright, I hope you've written the notes down. If you haven't, you can just rewind the video once again and look at the notes. But I'll give you a chance now to try it. You can pause the video wherever you feel like pausing and continue from there. So remember to start from the C note on the A string. And your timing should not be like as if you're playing a chromatic exercise. It shouldn't be like, no, it should be, so 1 2 1 2, like that. Not, so play 2 notes at a time. Okay, all right, now you try it. Alright, let me play it for you once again. So, from the C note on the A string, 1 2 1 2. Oops, sorry about that. So, 1 2 1 2. Okay, so that's just the intro. So you got C, C sharp, D, D sharp on the A string, all those 4 notes on the A string. Then you got the A sharp on the E string and the D sharp on the A string. That's intro, and you're playing that twice. Alright, let's give it a short one last time before we move further. Alright, now if you feel like you still haven't gotten any part from there, just rewind the video and check it out. Alright, let's go to the next part. Now the next part is basically the exact same 4 notes, the chromatic notes, starting from the C on the A string, but you go downwards now. So you go, so we're playing the F and the F sharp now on the D string. Then go back to the A string, D, D sharp. So far we got okay. Let's break it down a bit more. So we finished the intro. Now this is let's call it the verse. So we have the same bit in the same timing, the chromatic bit. 1 2 1 2, which is D D sharp D. C C sharp D D sharp. F on the D string and F sharp. That's the timing. You can tap there as well if you want. But let's get the tapping later, so don't worry about that for now. Okay, you try this. Okay, now we're going to add the next 2 notes, which is the D and the D sharp from the first bit, from the chromatic bit. Okay. Now it might not sound like the song yet because we're breaking it down. So this is how it's supposed to sound. So now after you play the D and the D sharp on the A string, you go back to those same notes on the D string, which is the F and the F sharp. Now the D, D sharp, F, F sharp is quick. There's no tap in between. It's like 4 notes together. Okay. Now this is the box roll technique, as I like to call it. We are playing the notes just below the F and the F sharp, but we're going backwards now. We're playing the B. This is the tuning B, if you remember that B. The B and you remember the note before the B? It's the A sharp or the B flat, okay? So we're going F, F sharp on the D string, B, B flat, okay? So now if you notice what I'm doing, when I play this, I'm just rolling my second finger down. That's why it's a box roll technique. So what happens here is, I'm just kind of going, I'll show you with one finger so you understand exactly what I'm doing. F, F sharp, go down, B, B flat, okay? Now don't play with one finger, I'm just showing you that so you can see exactly what I'm playing. So just go like that. It's like a box, it's a little box that we're making there. Okay, now the reason why I call this, you can use this as an exercise, and the reason why I call it a box roll technique is because it's a box and you need to roll your fingers. Try to get used to rolling your fingers. Use a bit more of the surface of your fingers. So we are playing the F and the F sharp like you normally would with the tips of your fingers. But then when you need to play the note just below the F sharp here, you want to go right below to the B, you roll your finger like this. Now you don't have to hold both at the same time like this. You can just play one and then go to the next and then play the B flat like you normally would. Okay. Okay, so what we have so far. Well, let's just do the box roll technique. Now you can just continue doing that over and over again. Start slow. Now for an exercise perspective, you can try to use the roll technique with the first finger as well. So what I'm doing is I'm playing the F and the F sharp on the D string as I normally would with the tips of my finger. Then I'm rolling my second finger down to play that B note on the G string. And I'm rolling my first finger down without taking it off from there. I'm rolling it down here so that I can play the A sharp right here on the G string. And since the next note is right on top, it's the F note, I'm keeping the roll technique. I'm going up from the roll. You see, I'm going up from this note, from the A sharp onto the F. And with the second finger, I'm going down. I'm going. And with the first finger, it is A sharp, F, A sharp, F. Okay, so that's an exercise, the box roll technique. Try to work on that, it'll help. It's a technique, as I mentioned earlier. It's a technique that you will, techniques is what you have to focus on while you learn songs with notes, because while you're having fun, you also want to try to learn the notes around the fretboard in a fun way, and also you want to learn techniques. Okay, so this is your first technique that you have. Okay, it's the box roll technique, where you use more more of a surface area of your finger. So what do we have so far from the verse of the song? Now you come back up. So you see we're completing the box one more time. Well, 1.5 times. So you go F, F sharp, B, A sharp, and again the F, F sharp. Okay? So once again, we are doing the box one time. So I'll do it with one finger once again. Okay, that's it. So F, F sharp, B, A sharp, F, F sharp. So I'll show you how it works. So okay, now, well, okay, you give that a shot first before we go ahead, or you can pause the video at any point of time. Now remember your timing. Timing is important here, okay? Especially for the first bit. I know it seems easy and you're very good at, you might be good at the chromatic exercise. So, you know, don't just go as soon as you can, as fast as you can. Don't go like, right? So, just because you're good at the chromatic doesn't mean you just go like that. Keep your timing in mind, because that's what songs are about, okay? Now, this is the next technique. What did I do? So I went back to that F note, the A sharp note right here on the G string. So I kind of skipped that B note and I went straight to the A sharp note, and I played the A note. But I didn't play strum, play strum. I just strummed once and I slid down. So that's your second technique. Okay? So how do you do this? Now, for a slide, you need to keep your finger pressed down constantly, even when you slide at the back. Don't take it off, because you would get this then. There will be no sound of the A note. So just go, keep it pressed down constantly even when you slide. And just strum once. Okay. Oops. Now, what are we going to do here? So this is a technique this is called a backslide. So now if you notice, the actual song has a bit of modulation. It goes. Now what I'm doing here, this is your third technique, it's modulation. Modulation is where, as I have explained previously, it's basically, it gives your notes more of a feeling. It's not like a robot or a mechanical way of playing a song. It adds emotions and feelings to the song. So you don't want to just go. See, that sounds much better, as opposed to. So. Now, how do I do modulation? Modulation is technique number 3. Okay. Now, modulation basically is you strum the string, play the note, and you just move the note up and down, or you can just go down, down, down. So let's imagine the string is on a central point right now. It's neutral. Okay. So you can either push it up and neutral, up and neutral, up and neutral, and you get that effect while your finger is pressed down all the time. You should never let it go, because you don't want to get into muting or buzzing, right? You don't want to experience those mistakes. So you want to keep your finger pressed down constantly, just as you did when you slid from when you did the back slide earlier. So basically, keep your finger pressed down constantly, move it up and neutral, up and neutral. Or I personally like to just move it down and neutral, down and neutral. So you don't have to go up and down all the way, moving it all across the axis of the neutral point. So if this is the neutral point, you want to go either up, neutral, up, neutral. You don't go up and then down and up. That's not going to help you. So either go down, neutral, or up, neutral. And you can continue to do that depending on how much time you have on that note. Okay, so try it. Oh, that was going up and neutral. Now down and neutral. You should get that wavy kind of a sound. Okay. Now what we do in the song is basically we combine the backslide and the modulation technique. So basically, it's one strum for the backslide, and you still stick to that same strum. You don't strum again, and you modulate. So. Okay. Now I'm going to give you time to just get the modulation. Forget the backslide for now. Just do the modulation. Strum. Okay. Now I know this technique could take some time to get a hold of, but don't worry. What I've told you so far is important to follow. So just follow each step that I've given you, and make sure to keep your fingers pressed down. Don't release it, because as you know, if you release it slightly, you can get that buzzing effect, and if you release it a bit more, it's just going to go dead. So it's just going to sound like. See, there's nothing happening. So even if you release it for a millisecond, it's just going to kill the resonance and the vibration of the string, and then if you move your finger up and down later on, it doesn't help. So keep it pressed down. Take it slowly. Just strum. See, so that's it. Okay. So. What are the techniques we have done so far? We have done the box roll. We have done the backslide with one strum. Oops. And then we have added the modulation. Okay? So, and the modulation is the third technique, which you strum, keep your finger pressed down. Okay, so we're just combining the backslide and the modulation. So it's one strum for both the techniques, okay? Okay, all right, now you try that. Try the modulation. Remember, keep your finger pressed down. Go ahead, try the modulation. Okay. Now try the backslide. Alright, now let's mix the two. One strum, remember, one strum from the A sharp to the A with the backslide, and the same strum continues. You don't want to strum again. As you hear the resonance of the guitar, continue with the next technique, which is the modulation of that A note. Okay, so we want to do this. Okay, you try now. Okay, so what do we have so far? We have, for the verse of the song, we got okay. Now for the last bit. So we ended our modulation on the A note, and we're going to strum the A note now. And we're going to do a backslide again, not just a semitone. This time we're going to go in for a tone. So it's not just, we're going to go play the A, G sharp, and the open G. Now, you might be wondering, how did I play the open G? All I did was slid from the A to the G sharp, and I just left it. And it resonated. So if you feel like it doesn't work, you can kind of try to flick the string a bit. But you don't have to consciously like flick it, like take your nail under the string. Like just try to flick it up a bit. See? So if you strum hard enough, then it will be very clear, because the string vibration is quite strong, so your resonance would be stronger as well, and then the note would the G note, the open note, would be clearer then. So try strumming a little stronger for this part. Okay. All right, you try now. Okay, now there's no modulation for the G because it's an open note, so don't worry about it. And the second reason why we don't have modulation is because the next note, which is the last note, comes immediately after that open G, which is the note right above, which is the E note on the D string. Okay, so this is a very basic way of playing the Pink Panther theme. Obviously, there are more advanced versions that I can teach you, like the one which I told you about from Guns N' Roses, which I mentioned earlier, from Bumblefoot, his version of the Pink Panther theme. If you just check it out on YouTube, there are a couple of videos, and I'll probably try to post a video of the time that I was with him in Dubai, and we had a jam session, and he actually performed the theme song for Pink Panther, because that's his kind of theme song that he loves to play. a rock version of it. So if you like that, we can get into details of how to play that. But for now, just work on this. Try to get an understanding on how to do this. You can also zoom in probably into the video if you need to get a better view. But I think that should be fine, hopefully. So let me play the whole thing for you again. So. So when you do the backslide, you wait for a while. So when you do the one tone backslide, when you slide back by one tone, you want to play that E note immediately after. So you have 4 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so you might need to pause this video a lot because I don't want to make a very long video for you. I'm trying to be as concise as I possibly can, and you take your time when you want to learn the song, because I know it's your first song that you might be learning right now, and I want to make sure that you get it right. I'm just going to play the song for you one more time, and I'll zoom in this time. I'll just stand closer. So this is how it goes, right from the beginning, okay? Right from the intro. Okay, so, oops, let me play the intro slowly, and I'll play the entire bit slowly, okay? Okay, so what did I play? So I just play the single notes just so you know exactly what I'm playing. Obviously don't copy that technique because it's really not going to help you. You need to, as you have already practiced your chromatic exercises from previous lessons, you know that you have to use all 4 fingers. But I've just showed you that so that you know exactly what I'm playing, and my other fingers are not kind of covering it. So I'll play it really slow, and I'll play it with the right fingers now. Okay, so. So make sure you get the timing of that bit right. That's the most common mistake that students make. They just go like a chromatic exercise, they just play just like, and then they wonder why it doesn't sound like the Pink Panther theme. So just go 1, 2, 1, 2. Now, what you need to remember as well is we are learning techniques, right? So you have 3 techniques that you have learned today. Okay, it's the box roll, remember with the second finger you go down, and with the first finger you come up. Well, you can play with the tips of your fingers as well, but the thing is you're not going to be as quick as. Okay, so box roll was 1, second was the backslide, okay, third was the modulation. Then you use your second technique again, which is the backslide, but this time you slide not just 1 semitone but 1 tone. Remember to have a strong strum here so that you can hear the open G note. Alright, great. If you mess around with your electric guitar and if you have distortion, then you would really enjoy playing the song. It sounds really cool on distortion. I'll send you the backing track if you require a backing track for this, just to jam and have fun with it. Obviously, it makes more sense to jam with the song once you are more smoother in playing, and there's more consistency in your playing, and you get the timing right. And we will definitely do the other song, the longer version, the more interesting version, not just this basic version. We'll do maybe the Bumblefoot version if you like, and then you can play along with the backing track. So I know I've kind of rushed into it, but you can always pause the video wherever you feel like you need to pause it. And if you have any other questions, just let me know, and I'll give you feedback on that. Okay. All right. See you. Take care. Bye.